Okay. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गरुडाची महाराज नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। Okay. So today is verse number 2.25, right? Yes. Okay. अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं ननु शोचितुम् अर्हसि।
अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि।
हरे कृष्णा। जयलक्ष्मी माता जी।
Sorry, with the mute I was telling. Wait a minute. अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकारायोऽयम् उच्यते तस्माद् एवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि।
Okay. Synonym: avyakta, invisible. I am this soul. Achintya, inconceivable. I am this soul. Avikarya, unchangeable. I am this soul. Uchyate is said. Tasmat, therefore. Evam, like this. Viditva, knowing it well. Enam, this soul. Na, do not. Anushochitam, to lament. Arhasi, you deserve. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj ki jai. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. So, among lots of characteristics of soul, the next characteristic that Krishna is telling is that it is invisible, that you cannot see it, right? That is why scientists have failed to recognize soul, or they have failed to visualize it inside the body, and that is why they always question the existence of soul inside the body. They could understand the changes going in the body. They could understand the process that body is deteriorating, or it is increasing, or changes that that body is undergoing, right? They could understand, but they cannot explain the valid reason behind it, because they could not visualize the soul, because it is invisible. If Krishna is saying it is invisible, that means it cannot be seen by anything, any means. then it is inconceivable and immutable. So inconceivable means that you cannot capture it and you can put it into anything, right? You cannot, it's not trappable. You cannot trap it anywhere, right? And it's immutable. The exact meaning for immutable, we'll understand it in the purport. Okay, so knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. So as explained by Krishna, that soul is just a fraction of energy of Krishna that is present inside the body. So it can neither be killed, it cannot be killed by any means, by fire, water, air, or anything, or any weapon, right? It cannot be seen by anybody, but it is the main source of energy or the main source of consciousness present inside the body of every living entity. So whenever a body dies, a person dies, his body dies, not the soul. So there is no point over grieving for the body, right? So purport, as described previously, the magnitude of soul is so small for our material calculation that he cannot be seen even by the most powerful microscope. Therefore he is invisible. As far as the soul's existence is concerned, no one can establish his existence experimentally beyond the proof of Shruti or Vedic wisdom. So the examples or references about the existence of soul is given in Vedic wisdom, right? So, or in Vedic Shastras. So there is no other proof beyond these references that have been given in the Vedic literature, right? So if you want to test the Vedic knowledge, or if you want to derive a proof out of it, then you will be failed, because you cannot like calculate it or observe it or visualize it by any of the material means, right? It's a fact that has to be accepted. And why it has to be accepted? Because it is given in the Vedic scriptures, and each and every word of Vedic scripture is true because it is directly coming from the Krishna, right? So we have to accept this truth, because there is no other source of understanding the existence of the soul, although it is a fact by perception. There are many things we have to accept solely on grounds of superior authority. No one can deny the existence of his father based upon the authority of his mother. So suppose if you you want to identify your father, suppose you don't know that who your father is, so whom you will approach to, right? So the only person that whom you will approach is your mother. You will ask your mother about that who is your father. So the mother will tell you that okay, this person is your father. Then you will believe it, right? You will believe it at any cost because your mother is saying that, right? So there is no question of questioning the words of your mother, right? Because your mother is saying that he is your father, that means he is your father. There is no doubt about it, right? So similarly, Vedas are also are our mother, and Krishna is our father, right? So Vedas are just like our mother. So whatever Vedas are saying, because Krishna have imparted the knowledge into Vedas. Krishna have given Brahmaji the intelligence to create the 4 Vedas. That is why with each of his head, Brahma created 4 Vedas. But the intelligence or the knowledge was given by Krishna himself. So that is why all the information that has been given in the Vedic literature is absolutely true without any single doubt, right? So Vedas are saying that there is an existence of soul inside the body, so we have to accept it as it is, accept this fact, okay? So there is no source of understanding the identity of the father except by the authority of the mother. Similarly, there is no source of understanding the soul except by studying the Vedas. In other words, the soul is inconceivable by human experimental knowledge. The soul is consciousness and conscious. That also is the statement of the Vedas, and we have to accept that. So the soul is consciousness and conscious. The soul in itself is very conscious, right? Because it's the part of the supreme conscious personality. Krishna is Chetanas Chetananam, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. That among all the conscious living entities, Krishna is the topmost conscious person. And among all the eternal living entities, Krishna is the topmost eternal being. So that is why all the living entity or the soul is part of Krishna. So that is why it is also conscious, and it is the one who provides consciousness into the body of the living being in which it is residing. Okay. So unlike the bodily changes, there is no change in the soul. As eternally unchangeable, the soul remains atomic in comparison to the infinite supreme soul. The supreme soul is infinite and the atomic soul is infinitesimal. Therefore, the infinitesimal soul, being unchangeable, can never become equal to the infinite soul. So the infinite soul is supreme soul and it is infinite. Infinite means there is no measurement to it. You cannot measure the dimensions of that soul, right? It is so like you can say big or great in the terms of greatness. It is infinite, right? And the atomic soul or the living entity, living soul that is present inside the body, the individual soul, is infinitesimal. That it is so small, so minute that you cannot even imagine. So there is a difference between the infinite and infinitesimal. Infinite means you cannot imagine the greatness of the super soul, and you cannot imagine the tininess or minuteness of the individual soul. Okay. So therefore, the infinitesimal soul, being unchangeable, can never become equal to the infinite soul or the supreme personality of Godhead. This concept is repeated in the Vedas in different ways, just to confirm the stability of the conception of the soul. So it's not that there is a in that text, in that page, or that paragraph, a single word, a single line is mentioned that yes, soul exists in the body. No, there are lots and lots of references in all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the Purans, right, that are mentioning or explaining the existence of soul into the body. Repetition of something is necessary in order that we understand the matter thoroughly without error. So repetition or redundancy is actually done to show the importance of a certain thing, right? So like suppose a mother wants to stop a baby from touching a switchboard or touching a hot pan. So what she will say, okay, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Now she will repeat. Okay. So in the same way, Brahmaji repeated this thing, Kalau nastev nastev nastev, Harer Nam kevalam. Right? So he wants to emphasize, he wants to pressurize on certain important things by repeating it. That it's the thing of uttermost importance. So you have to understand it and accept it as it is. Right? So similarly, about the conception of soul, it is mentioned repeatedly in the Vedas, just to focus the importance of the existence of soul. Okay. So this was 2.25. Now 2.26. Atha chainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nainam shochitam arhasi. Synonyms: Atha, if, however; cha, also; enam, this soul; nityajatam, always born; nityam, forever; va, either; manyase, you so think; mritam, dead; tatha api, still; tvam, you; mahabaho, O mighty armed one; na, never; enam, about the soul; sochitam, to lament; arhasi, Translation: If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty arm. So now Krishna is saying that there are two ways of understanding the fact. If you are understanding at the bodily level, or you think that the soul dies with the body, or it's not eternal, then there is no point of lamenting, no point of grieving. Why? Because then you should understand that this body or this soul has destined to die. So it will die some or the other day, not today. If not today, then maybe tomorrow or maybe some other day, right? But it has to die. And if you are considering at the soul level, right, then there is also no point of lamenting, because the soul is eternal. It can never be killed, nor it will kill anybody, nor it will be killed by anyone, right? So there is no point of mourning the deaths at any of the two bases of understanding, neither at the bodily level nor at the level of the soul. Okay. Purport. There is always a class of philosophers almost akin to the Buddhist who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul beyond the body. When Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it appears that such philosophers existed, and they were known as the Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. Such philosophers maintain that life symptoms take place at a certain mature condition of material combination. The modern material scientists and materialist philosophers also think similarly. According to them, the body is a combination of physical elements, and at a certain stage, the life symptoms develop by interaction of the physical and chemical elements. The science of anthropology is based on this philosophy. Currently, many pseudo-religions, now becoming fashionable in America, are also adhering to this philosophy, as are the nihilistic, non-devotional Buddhist sects. So, the term which is used here is the symptoms of life. Or Krishna is saying soul, or the symptoms of life. That means the symptoms of life occur due to soul. Where there is soul, there will be symptoms of life. That means the soul and symptoms of life are parallel to each other. There is no difference, right? But according to modern scientists, or the two specific terms that Krishna has used, Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. So they were philosophers at that time whose philosophy or whose thinking was just as the philosophy of Mayavadis or Buddhist. Right? They were saying that soul and super soul have no difference. They are just one. And at a certain, after certain time, they both mix with each other. And the modern material scientists, what they think, that there is a combination of certain chemical components and physical components. This body is made up of physical and chemical components. So at a specific time period, when both these physical and chemical compositions interact with each other, they represent certain symptoms of life, which we call as like birth or growing or maturing or reproducing or whatever, right? So these are the specific symptoms of life. By these processes only you can understand that, okay, a person is living or non-living. Why we say that plants are living? Because we can see that plants are taking birth, plants are growing, plants are maturing, and then plants are reproducing also. And at a certain stage, plants are dying also, right? That is why these facts actually made us conclude that plants are living things. Otherwise, there is because they are not moving, they are not talking, they are not looking, right? So all these symptoms may make a people say that, okay, plants are non-living. But certain symptoms of life, that they are reproducing, they are growing, they are maturing, they are dying, they show that plants are also living things. Okay, so these are called as symptoms of life, and they occur because of soul, because Krishna has clearly mentioned soul or the symptoms of life, right? So the modern scientists consider that the symptoms of life occur due to certain combinations of physical and chemical components, and not because there is a soul inside the body. They do not correspond to this fact. Okay. Even if Arjuna did not believe in the existence of the soul, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, there would still have been no cause for lamentation. No one laments the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals and stops discharging his prescribed duty. So, see, if like these Vaibhashika philosophers, they say that if the body is just a combination of certain components, chemical components, then why to cry over certain sets of components, chemical components, which is being destroyed, right? So there is no point of crying over these things. So Arjuna should not, if Arjuna believe in that philosophy, then also he should not cry over these things. Okay, on the other hand, in modern science and scientific warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. According to Vaibhashika philosophy, the so-called soul or Atma vanishes along with the deterioration of the body. So in any case, whether Arjuna accepted the Vedic conclusion that there is an atomic soul or he did not believe in the existence of the soul, he had no reason to lament. According to this theory, since there are so many living entities generating out of matter every moment, and so many of them are being vanquished every moment, there is no need to grieve for such incidents. If there were no rebirth for the soul, Arjuna had no reason to be afraid of being affected by sinful reactions due to his killing his grandfather and teacher. But at the same time, Krishna sarcastically addressed Arjuna as Mahabahu, mighty arm, because he at least did not accept the theory of Vaibhashikas, which leaves aside the Vedic wisdom. As a Kshatriya, Arjuna belonged to the Vedic culture, and it behooved him to continue follow its principles. So it was clear that whether Arjuna has to accept the Vedic conclusion or he has to accept the Vaibhashika philosophy. Both are entirely different, and both are giving a proper and valid reason to Arjuna for not to cry. Right? So there is no point of crying over the deaths of his family members. Right? So anyhow, Arjuna had to fight the battle, and that is why Krishna is trying to encourage him by calling him with different names as Mahabahu or Kaunteya or Bharat, because he wants to invoke that feeling of strength, that power, that dynasty, that powerful dynasty, feeling of that powerful dynasty in him, to invoke him or provoke him to fight that battle. Okay, because he was a Kshatriya. All right. 26. Okay. Any questions? Shall we take the other shloka, or any questions in that?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
This I'm confused in this immutable. What is like? You have indicated, right? What's immutable word in that?
Immutable. Okay, let me check.
It's a fixed. The meaning is says it's fixed.
Fixed.
Hmm.
Okay.
$25, no? 25.
The meaning is fixed, and I understood.
Invisible means it avyakt, it cannot be seen. Inconceivable means akalpaniya. And immutable means aparivartaniya. Yes, it cannot be changed.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. Immutable. Oh, right. Immutable means, there is a scientific term called mutation. Mutation means changing a certain point. Suppose there is a strand of a DNA strand or a RNA strand. So just changing one amino acid or one nucleotide is called as mutation. So mutation means change, to introduce a certain change. So immutable means that the soul cannot be changed, or it is aparivartani, means unchangeable.
Then body is immutable. Baby, boyhood, manhood. Is it like that?
Pardon?
Soul is in. And a body, human body is immutable.
Body is
mutable.
body
Sorry, mutable.
Yes.
Mutable.
Yes.
It is changing, Every stage it is taking place, but the soul will be all the time same.
Yes.
But when we take the next birth, maybe we will, if this birth, if we improve, if our consciousness, if we make it a Krishna consciousness, then we will be little different, isn't it? No, our knowledge only will be better. Soul is all the time same.
Soul is all the time. All the time. because it is covered by mind, intelligence, and ego, no?
Okay. So that alone it will change. Mind, intelligence, our goodness kind of thing, and how we are cultivating our life in this life. Next life will be better.
Yes.
Right, Mataji?
Yes.
Actually, once there was one question. So there was a question that sometimes we say that pure, like soul becomes impure or something like that. So my mentor answered that soul can never become impure. Soul is always pure because it's part and parcel of Krishna. But as we are covered with mind, intelligence, and false ego, so because of that three things, we carry these things in another body when we take other body. So because of that three things, we get contaminated. So soul is always pure, but our mind, intelligence, and false ego always goes here and there, like that. Something explained like that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Then we can imagine. I mean, the body they are telling us a cloth, right? A dress. We are a new dress we are getting when we get a new birth, right? So then one more layer is there. We can imagine body and mind and intelligence. In that, inside soul is there. Is it like that?
Yes. There are two types of body: gross body and subtle body. So mind,
gross body and subtle body. Okay.
Mind, intelligence, and false ego is actually subtle body.
Okay.
And external body is gross body. So whenever
that only can change, soul cannot be changed. The next birth.
Whenever a soul is transferred from one body to another, it goes along with the subtle body. But when it is finally liberated from this material bondage, then it also leaves behind the subtle body. It reaches to Krishna in its purest form.
Oh, what once again? When we go
when we leave this material world and when we finally go to Krishna, the soul leaves the subtle body also behind.
Okay. There we will get a body, right? Do we get a body? Spiritual body we get, right?
We get the spiritual body.
And the mind also will get, right? Mind, intelligence.
No. The mind
we won't get.
No. The purest form of soul reaches to Krishna only.
Actually, I think
mind, intelligence, false ego is only for the material body.
Yes.
Okay.
They are material objects actually. They are not.
Actually, in spiritual world, there is nothing as such that if we want to drink water, we have to take water and drink like that. It's like if we are thinking that we are drinking, so we are drinking. It's like that, right?
We are satisfied in our own.
Yes.
But how do we have knowledge without having
knowledge of what?
No, this material body we are having knowledge, mind, those things, mind, false ego. When we get a spiritual body, automatically the knowledge is there in that. Is it like that?
Thus, in the spiritual body, the only knowledge that exists is that we are servant of Krishna or Vishnu.
Okay.
That's the knowledge is required, and the main purpose of soul is to serve Krishna, and it serves Krishna only. No other work.
Then people in Vaikunta, what do they have? Then the main purpose is to serve Vishnu. They will think in that way. So they also will have spiritual body in Vaikunta, is it?
Yes, they all have spiritual bodies of four-handed form. They have four hands.
They are 4 hands.
Yes, four-handed.
But Goloka Vrindavan 2 hands? Yes. Because Krishna is 2 hands.
Yes.
Okay.
Krishna and Vishnu, you can understand it as Barack Obama at his house and Barack Obama at his office. At his office means Narayan or Vishnu, and at home means Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, easy to understand.
So that is why in the Vaikuntha, the living souls are, the relationship between the Narayan and living soul is of a servant and the master, right?
Yes.
Serve Vishnu. But in the Golok, Vrindavan, the relationships are of 5 types. They are Madhurya and Sakya and Vatsal. Every relationship exists. So that is why it is very, blissful and very sweet, very nectarian relationship.
Then, for example, Santarasa, Shakya Rasa, you told, right? Madhurya Rasa is the topmost. Congenial love, something you told in the last chapter, in the very long back when we read. So between them there is a level is there. I mean, in spiritual world all are same, all each soul is individuality is there, right? In spiritual world how it will be, for example, material world, doctor, engineer, worker, like based on their knowledge potential they are differentiated. How about in the spiritual world, in Golaka you told the 5 type of relationship we can have with Krishna, with Krishna. So among the 5 of them, any difference will be there?
Yes, it depends upon the desire of the soul, that what kind of relationship you want to establish with Krishna.
Suppose but the love is same.
Yes, the love, like for every aspect, their love is incomparable. That you cannot compare the love of Yashoda with any of the love, right? So it's other, but the love of Radharani is also incomparable.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. So for each of the rasa or each of the bhav, the people are representing the epitome of the love for Krishna. Radharani is expressing the epitome of love in the Madhurya bhav. Yashoda Maiya is expressing the love, the epitome of love in the Vatsalya bhav.
Vatsalya bhav. So we should not compare. That is the uniqueness. There, Vatsalya means Yashoda's uniqueness of love.
Yes. There is no one in the world who can love a child or Krishna in the way Yashoda Maiya loved.
At the same time, no one can love like Radharani in Madhurya.
Actually, everyone is in, like, every rasa people, like whoever soul is in whatever rasa they are in, they are satisfied in their own rasa.
Okay.
So basically what happens that whenever someone comes, starting devotional service or something like that, whenever they are reading books and they are so they automatically get connected to any kind of rasa and they follow the footsteps of the, like, for example, if one is wants into Madhurya Ras, so they will automatically goes in the footstep of Radharani. If one is in the Vatsalya, then Yashoda Mai, like that.
Okay.
Like I heard in Bhanu Maharaj lecture.
But that takes time, that's all higher stage.
Yes.
Or in the beginning itself. Actually, for example, if you ask me, I first attracted Krishna's, the Balagopal, the Kartik month. I was attracted with a song. What is that song called?
Damodarashtakam.
Yes. So what Mataji is telling is, we have to reach the higher level, then only we can think of that. Oh, we are this kind of love we are having, like Vatsalya or Madhurya.
The foundation of love is laid down by the devotional service. On the very first step, we start to serve Krishna. Then love automatically happens. Because love comes out of devotional service. So when we start serving Krishna, then slowly and gradually love starts to happen.
Okay. Now at this stage for me reverence is that, not that much love, only reverence.
It's an automatic process. First is that we just have to do sadhana service.
Yes. It's a long stage.
In today's Nityam Bhagavat class, I heard lecture that there are two types of things. Some people are following the devotional service only, but they haven't developed the love, right? But other people have developed the love, but they are not following the devotional service. They are called as Sahajiya Bhakt. Sahajiya means that they worship Krishna with love, but they do not follow the protocol. They will, like, suppose somebody is worshipping Bal Gopal or the deity form. So, like, they say that they love Krishna so much that there is no, like, they have no fixed time of waking them up or bathing them, doing their abhishek or worshipping in a proper manner as deity should be worshipped. So they are not following that principle, but they are saying that okay, they love Krishna very much. And some people, devotees are like that. They are strictly following the protocol, but they still haven't developed the love of Krishna, right? They cannot feel that emotion, but they are following the principle. So there should be like both the things should be present.
First category, it seems.
When you start serving or doing devotional service and you experience love in it, like suppose you love what you are doing, you are serving Krishna and so much love is coming in your heart, then you can say that you are reaching to a level of perfection or Krishna prem, right?
Yes, understood.
Anupama, Sahajiya is like it's not what does Sahajiya mean?
Sahajiya means that they make their own rules, right? Suppose there is a protocol that you should do abhishek of deity regularly with this thing or this thing. But what they will do that, okay, let's not do it today. Krishna is not willing to have it. Or okay, let's not offer prasadam. Krishna is not hungry. So these type of things. So they just make their own protocol. That okay, let's not. Krishna will not mind. Okay. So this type of things they comes under Sahajiya. But who are strictly following the protocols, they will follow it. At like if 4:30 Krishna has to wake up, then they will wake up Krishna at 4:30, whether they are feeling that love or not, right? So this is the devotional service who are strictly following it.
Yes, it happens in South India. They follow systematically for Vishnu.
What?
In South India it happens. Go ahead, Mataji.
Continue.
No, you continue.
No, I was telling that I think this proper timing and all in temple it is very strict, right? Yes. At home it's little difficult to.
But who keep the deities at home, they are also very particular about it. They are very like in Banaras there was a Mataji, Nitya Kishori Mataji, very senior. So she had that, like she used to follow exactly the protocol as of the temple. She used to wake up at like 4 and do Mangala at 4:30 of his deities, and by 8:30 she was sure to make her deities sleep. When we used to have class at the evening time. So sometimes when class like it was extended for a certain long time, so she used to just interrupt and she would say that Mataji, I have to like make my deity sleep, so I have to go. So she was very particular. So that is why if people are keeping the deities at home, then they should be particular about the services also.
So deities as in Radha Krishna, Gaur Nitai, that right? Bal Gopal is also deity. I don't know.
Yes, actually, in fact, in ISKCON, there is no such this thing of keeping Bal Gopal. ISKCON devotees do not keep Bal Gopal because it is said that Bal Gopal is very naughty and he has to be taken proper care because he gets angry very easily. He gets annoyed very easily. So that is why, you have to take care of him very nicely. So, but that is why in ISKCON, Gaurang and Nityanand deities are preferred because they are very merciful and they forgive our offenses also very easily. So and they provide devotional services even if we are very fallen, and they take up our aparadha also. So that is why spiritual masters advise to keep Gaur-Nitai deities. In fact, it is just if you have to first ask from your spiritual master that what deity should I keep, and according to your level of devotion, he will suggest you.
Okay.
Yes. So that is why in ISKCON mostly I have seen that at home people prefer keeping Gaur-Nitai deities or Jagannath, because Jagannath is also very merciful.
Even I have seen that Sheila, that is, I'm not remembering the name exactly. It's the Sheila, like stone.
Shaligram Shila?
Shaligram Sheila, yeah.
Shaligram Shila. Yes, Shaligram Shila is also worshipped with lots of devotees. But I've heard in one lecture that one Mataji brought in Dubai or in Doha, she bought a stone from Govardhan, and she started worshipping Govardhan Shila. And she was disciple of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and without asking her spiritual master. And when Maharaj came to Dubai and she told him, then he refused that you shouldn't have done this. You should not keep that Govardhan Shila at your home, because Govardhan is non-different from Krishna. Govardhan is Krishna himself, so it is very difficult to serve him, right? So she started asking other spiritual master, and in a hope that anybody should say that okay, keep it. But nobody allowed, right? So we should not keep deities as without asking from the spiritual master. Serving Radha and Krishna is very difficult, right? It's very tough to serve them. So that is why preferably Gaur-Nitai should be kept at home, and with that too with the permission of spiritual master.
Okay, understood.
So when you feel like that, yes, you are like settled and you can worship them, you can serve them properly, then only you should bring deities at your home.
And I think in that, if you are bringing deities, then you have to do some sthapana also, right? To do proper kind of like regularly.
Yeah, that is abhishek that you can do at home, like by yourself also, or by calling devotees. You can do it. That's abhishek. Yes.
Okay. Because I have heard that when you do sthapana of deities, then you have to be like very strict in like you have to follow everything like temple. But if you have like if you are just keeping like as a love for Krishna or something like that, then I don't know what is correct, what is wrong, but I love Gopal, so I just kept it.
Yes, even I have the same thing. But with the deities, you should have to be a little more strict towards serving, especially if you have kept Radha and Krishna. That is why my Guru Maharaj never easily allow anybody to keep Radha and Krishna. He always say that keep Gaur-Nitai only.
Okay.
So, but like all of the devotees whom I have known personally, and those who are having deities at home, they are very particular about everything. So they strictly follow the rules. So I cannot say that they are like sahajiya kind of that. Okay, jab time mila tab kar liya. No, they are following. They are having the deity, and they are like properly initiated and under the instructions of Guru Maharaj. So they are following it.
Understood. Okay.
Okay. Jayalakshmi Mataji.
Hello. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. There are two types of initiation. The second initiation, people are eligible to serve God in temple. So for serving in the house also, we have to have the second initiation.
No.
Okay. That's
Brahman
only love.
Just for temple.
Actually, in the south, we don't do that. ladies they won't serve Lord.
Yes.
Aarti or dressing up.
Actually, I have seen also this only in Tokyo, that Matajis are doing the DT worship. Otherwise, in any of the ISKCON, I haven't seen. But Jashi Mataji told me once that actually we have deficiency of devotees. So that is why it becomes necessary, because we do not have so much devotees here who can be very regular.
Okay.
Brahman initiation was given easily to all of them, because there was a need of devotees in the temple. So that is why it was done. But anyhow, things are going nicely, and the temple is also going very nicely. So there is no.
Okay.
We still have 5 minutes. Should we read that Prahlad Maharaj little bit? 2-3 paragraphs?
Okay.
Please read any of you.
Should I read?
Yes.
Okay. 3rd chapter, Family Illusion. Prahlad Maharaj told his friends, you have to begin Krishna consciousness immediately. All the boys were born of atheistic, materialistic families, but fortunately they had the association of Prahlad, who was a great devotee of the Lord from his birth. Whenever he found an opportunity, when the teacher was out of the classroom, he used to say, my dear friends, let's chant Hare Krishna. This is the time to begin Krishna consciousness. Now, as we have stated, some boy might have said, but we are just boys. Let us play. We are not going to die immediately. Let us have some enjoyment, and later we shall begin Krishna consciousness. People do not know that Krishna consciousness is the highest enjoyment. They think that the boys and girls who have joined this Krishna consciousness movement are foolish. By Prabhupada's influence, they have joined Krishna consciousness and left everything enjoyable. But actually this is not so. They are all intelligent, educated boys and girls coming from very respectable families. They are not fools. In our society, they are actually enjoying life, otherwise they would not have sacrificed their valuable time for this movement. Should I read?
Yes, you continue.
Actually, there is joyful life in Krishna consciousness, but people do not know of it. They say, what use is this Krishna consciousness? When one grows up entangled in the sense gratification process, it is very difficult to get out of it. Therefore, according to Vedic regulations, in student life, beginning from 5 years of age, boys are taught about spiritual life. That is called Brahmacharya. A Brahmachari dedicates his life to attaining supreme consciousness, Krishna consciousness or Brahman consciousness. Brahmacharya has many rules and regulations. For example, however rich one's father may be, the Brahmachari surrenders himself to be trained under the guidance of a spiritual master and works in the ashram of the spiritual master just like a menial servant. How is this possible? We are getting actual experience that very nice boys coming from very respectable families do not hesitate to do any kind of work here. They are washing dishes, cleansing floors, everything. One student's mother was astonished at her boy when he visited home. Before he would not even go to the store, and now he is engaged 24 hours a day. Unless one feels pleasure, how is it possible that he can engage himself in such a process of Krishna consciousness? This is due only to the chanting of Hare Krishna. This is our single asset, the Hare Krishna mantra. One can be very jolly simply by Krishna consciousness. Actually, it is a joyful life, but unless one is trained, one cannot leave it. Prahlad Maharaj says that everyone is attached to family affection. If one is attached to family affairs, he cannot control his senses. Naturally, everyone wants to love someone. Society, friendship and love are needed. They are demands of the spirit soul, but they are being pervertedly reflected. I have seen that many ladies and gentlemen in your country have no family life, but they have placed their love in cats and dogs. Because they want to love someone but do not see anyone suitable, they place their valuable love in cats and dogs. Our concern is to transfer this love, which has to be placed somewhere, to Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. If you transfer your love to Krishna, that is perfection. But now, because people are being frustrated and cheated, they do not know where to place their love, and at last, they place their love in cats and dogs.
Okay. I think this is enough for today. Is there anything which is not understandable?
For me, it was easy to understand.
Yeah, Jalakshmi Mataji?
Yes, easy to understand, no problem.
Okay. So, shall we stop now?
Okay.
पांचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, सभी भक्तवृंद की जय। Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.